So we'll get you up here. All right, we got you now. You can actually, because I'm trying to put this with Chris Porter, and Chris has this with First Coast News. We're going to attempt to not curse, because we have the hashtag Team Sideline, and I wanted to make sure we were able to get on. It's not just because you are, again, a kid closer. It's funny how the world goes. You train guys, you see them. I actually remember the first time I even heard about you. You probably don't even know this, but your cousin went to Florida State when I was
Antoine.
there. Antoine, yeah, man. Antoine was like, man, I got this cousin that's he might be all right in football. Let me see what he's like. And I think you were at Terry Parker at that point before you went to Trinity Christian. But we got Dre here. Came out of Jacksonville, came out of Duval. Got a lot of kids in that. A lot of people in this area get a chance to go to the NFL, be able to go to college, and just a lot of great things. And again, he chose to go to another university, but I'm not mad at that. I like that.
Florida State told me I was too short.
That's Jimbo.
Yeah, it was Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Told me I was too short.
Jimbo, yeah. But it worked out for you at the end of the day. And what I always tell people, they never understand it. I had a really successful gym at the time that I had seen a lot of kids go to different places that weren't necessarily my alma mater. I tell them, even now, I've got about 5 or 6 kids that are some cats coming out of Jacksonville. And I'm like, they go to Florida State, great. If they don't matter to me. I just want them to be able to achieve what I achieved and greater. And your story is actually kind of one of those things where obviously you've got an opportunity to be in the NFL and you're sticking around. You're doing year 7. Whew,
crazy.
That's crazy. Because a lot like this, people don't. Statistically speaking, it's 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And as me and one of my teammates, Brian McFadden, who just left, I got this from another one of my teammates. There are only 30,000 people, as of not including this new crop, but as of last year, there were 30,000 people that have ever worn an NFL uniform. When you really think about how little a number that is, it's amazing to even play 1 year, but you were able to get in and you were able to grind, and you're able to rough it out. And you've been in a couple different teams, but I want to get back to that because when you first came over here, and it's funny because I know I'm old when this happens. He's like, you don't even remember me, dude. I said, no, I remember exactly who you are. I know who you are. But I get that now, and there are guys that you train. My son will watch this and be like, Dad, you ain't never trained no NFL players. I'm like, son, I've trained so many NFL players that I forget that they made it. But talk about what got you into football and what it's like to actually be living the dream of playing at the top level.
Yeah, I would say, man, I just started playing football young, like you said. You knew my cousin Antoine, and yeah, they were kind of grooming me for all this stuff young, and football was something that ran through our family, and I've been playing it since I was 4, and I just love it. I have a huge passion for it. I'm kind of decent at it, and so yeah, football is just a game. I love the physicality. I love being with the boys. I love everything, the way the grass smells. I love ball. And then just kind of how the league is and live your dream. I don't think it's maybe what I thought it was going to be when I was young, but it's still such a great opportunity, such a blessing, and there's no other job that I would rather do. So I'm just really grateful to even be at this point. It's hard. It's definitely super hard, but God willing, I've made it to year 7. So it's just all about really believing in yourself, keeping your head down and working. You can't take it too personal. You can't control everything, but the things you can't control, you just got to make sure that you do. And when you get your opportunity, you shine. Simple as that.
It's one of the things that I always tell people. I've said it before. This at the level that you're at, it's still fun, but it's a business. It's just different. It'll never be what it was in high school. It'll never be what it is in college. Each level that you go up, it's more and more like a business, and but it's also still not the real world until you get out there. You realize that there's that first check that I got that wasn't a football check. I realized that, wow, okay, this is a little crazier than I thought. But But let's talk about the high school experience. So you went to Terry Parker, we're going to talk about, but you ended up at Trinity Christian. And Trinity Christian, for those who don't know, is a powerhouse in Jacksonville, Florida. They churn out top talent year in and year out. Actually, I had one of my teammates at Florida State, Gerard Ross, who's now at Florida State now with recruiting, was over there. Talk about what that was like playing for them. And again, also playing for a legend. Verlin Dorminey is a really, really highly respected football coach in the state of Florida. So what was that like, and how did that maybe kind of prepare you to where you're at right now?
It was tough, honestly, going from Terry Parker, where I was kind of like the man, young, like I was freshman, sophomore year there, and I did well. I started and, got my first offers there at Terry Parker. But then when I left, you see like, okay, wow, like I am not the only guy out here, not even just in the world, in my own city. They had 5 stars, Kevin Tolliver, Jeff Holland, you had Kendrick Norton, you had Ben Edwards, you had Victor Alexander, you had Isaiah Ford. I mean, the list literally just goes on and on. And so when I got there, I realized, okay, iron does really sharpen iron, and that being coached by them is going to be a little bit different. Like Coach Ross, Coach Gus, he played at Florida, V-Man, like they're going to challenge you. They're going to talk that trash to you. They're going to talk that trash to you. They're going to you're going to come in there first day of the week. They're going to be like, man, I remember playing Buford. They're like, man, look at these highlights. These boys going to run all over y'all. They're going to run all over y'all all day. They don't care nothing about y'all offers. Like, that's how they kind of talk to us. But it kept us, our energy on edge. And because, we didn't really know how good we were. And that we could really go out there and beat teams. So they had to challenge us and talk trash to us. But they also, they both played in the league. And so they taught us a lot of game about, football, about life. And they were really like big brothers to us. And they were picking on us the same way. So Trinity was a great move for me. I'm glad I really did make that move and transferred. They did not recruit me. I decided to go there on my own merit. And I'm really, really blessed that I went to Trinity Christian.
I always tell people, a lot of people get this high school stuff twisted. And there are instances of people being recruited, but the great programs recruit themselves.
Yep.
If they weren't any good, it wouldn't matter if somebody recruited you. You wouldn't want to go there. But it also takes a certain mentality. You want to go where the best are. You want to go be challenged, and that's the difference, the mindset between those who get an opportunity to achieve greatness and those who don't. So even moving forward to that, you didn't go to North Carolina because it was the worst school.
Yeah.
And to just play, you went to North Carolina to be able to achieve something. And you also were able to do one of the things that I like talking to guys about, because there's so few of them. There's so few active coaches who have actually won a national championship. And you got a chance to play for Mac, if I'm correct, right? That's who was over there, or were you there before
I was
Mac?
there before Mac. My national championship guy was Gene Chisholm. So he was
You did
my
have
DC.
Chisholm. That's right. You had Chisholm.
Chisholm,
Okay.
Obviously Auburn.
But okay, so what's my guy from the guy from Jacksonville? Was that the guy who's getting everybody?
Yeah, Dan Dish.
Dan Dish.
Dan
okay.
Dish.
All right. So I will say that now.
Yeah,
now listen,
Dan Dish.
Dan Dish could. Now I just said what I said about recruiting, but they say Dan Dish been a good recruiter since he was at Ed White. All those different times. So, but and yeah, brag on Dan Dish. What was Dan Dish like? Because I've only heard about him. I've never really met him before.
Yeah.
But I know in Jacksonville, Florida, Dan Dish name was that guy.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to Dan Dish for one. Great guy. He went to Terry Parker, and so when I was there my sophomore year, I had a pretty good year. And he came in. He was like, "Yeah, man. I didn't think they're really gonna offer me. I didn't think they were." But he came in. He was like, "Yeah, man. You're gonna be our little diamond in the rough. I went to school here. I'm from Jacksonville. Yeah, we're gonna offer you. You're gonna come. You're gonna have a great career. All this and that." And I'm like, okay. I really tried to leverage the UNC offer until Florida State offer. I called Florida State right when I got the UNC offer. I said, "UNC just offered me. So what's up?" I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Dang, still don't want me. But man, Coach Dish is that dude. Literally everyone that he recruited is either went to the league or is still playing. Like he recruited, like the big four he recruited was me, William Sweet, who played at First Coast. He recruited this guy named Mike Hughes out of New Bern, North Carolina. He's playing with me in Atlanta, and he's going into his 7th year. And Ronnie Harrison, who was supposed to go to UNC, Bama made him flip.
Shout out to Florida High, Tallahassee, Florida.
Shout out
That's
to
what a little bro.
Yeah.
I actually grew up with his brother.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we were in a group chat every day. Why Florida State don't want little bro, James? Why Florida State not going to little bro? I was like, man, shut up. Little bro ain't no
crazy
good.
though.
I was joking, say your little bro not good enough to go to Florida State. Then I look, I'm like, oh yeah, little bro actually was good.
He's tough.
It was between him and Derwin. That's why I had to tell him. I was like, dude, like Derwin's that guy. And then Ronnie ended up getting drafted by the Jaguars. Yeah, which was wild.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, so Dish had a hand in recruiting all those guys, and I tell you, he just kind of just had a knack for it. He was a great guy, very personable. He kind of, he's from Jacksonville, so he know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when we went on visits, he wasn't there BSing with us, just blowing smoke. He just kept it real. Might give us some gear, this, that, and the third, but man, everyone that I know loved Dish, even like the players that played for him, because they fired him right after recruiting day or National Signing Day, because Gene Chizik had came in as a new DC. But man, everyone was like, man, I loved playing for Dish. He was one of the realest. Man, I wish he would come back. Like they should have. Anybody they should have kept Dish. And obviously, he was the best recruiter on UNC staff. So, man, I just want to give a lot of props to Dan Dish for one, recruiting me, giving me the opportunity, and for all my other teammates that I played with. It, man, I think he might be overseas coaching. Last time I talked to him, but man, just a lot of respect for him. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity he gave me.
So, moving from North Carolina, you get drafted. I mean, I get drafted. Were you drafted or was it undrafted?
I know you went
seventh round, and to Carolina, correct?
Yep.
Or was it? All right. So did you expect to go higher, or did you, or was kind of about, all right, I just need my opportunity, foot in the door, and that's kind of what you were going for?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a whole little situation, whole little story. Now, definitely, like I'm one of them guys that I was like, man, I'm gonna be in school 3 years. Like I ain't here to play school. Not gonna lie, I was one of those guys. I was good at school, didn't like fail or nothing, but I knew what I wanted to do with my life and my career. And fortunately, I'm still doing that to this day. But I had a situation where I had two kind of big surgeries back to back at UNC. I tore my pec in 2016, then I had tore my knee in 2017, which ended my season. So we had played Cal, we had played Louisville, Lamar Jackson, and I had summed up about 2 games, like 24 tackles, pick, PBU, almost, it should have been pick 6. I should have scored. I got tackled like 3-yard line. That's another story. But so I was really balling my junior year, and then the knee injury happened, and I was just in a position where I felt like the team and the staff wasn't trying to take care of me, keeping me healthy, and I knew I ultimately wanted to play in the NFL, and NFL doesn't want damaged goods. And so I knew that if I would have came back, like I did the little draft grade, it was like, if you go back, you're going to be like a 3rd round pick. And I knew if I would have played that whole season, they were like, you're going to be first team all ACC. And I would have probably been like a day 2 guy, something like that. And so once the knee injury happened, I knew that obviously my stock dropped. But I believed in myself, and I didn't want to go back to school and possibly risk another injury to get a degree, but not get to the league. And the ultimate goal was to get to the league. I did go back and finish May 17, 2021, so I did graduate. But it was just really about believing in myself and taking the chance, because I was like, well, if I go to the league, I get hurt, at least I get paid. College, we have all this NIL. They get in that bag now. They could be in school for 11, 12 hours, for however long. And it wasn't that situation for me. So, man, I jumped off the porch, took a chance on myself, risked it. And I think the fact that I got drafted in the 7th round is really impressive, seeing as I only played 2 games my junior year. So I really got drafted like off of my sophomore and freshman year tape. So when I tell people the story, I'm kind of proud of the fact that even though it's 7th round, and shout out to all the 7th round savages, all the guys getting it the hard way, because it's the hard way. And I probably wouldn't want it no other way. So, yeah.
Well, the cool thing is you get there, you get to Carolina, you're there. I know you played in Buffalo for a while. Now you're with the Falcons. What is it like, kind of just once you're in the league, and then what has helped you kind of, because again, 7 years is a long time when you sit back and you think about it, and the fact that you're on contract now, so if you do what you're supposed to do, that 7 years should probably become 8.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you've done to be able to stay in the league as long as you have? And do you feel like maybe being around different coaches and getting acclimated to different areas actually is helping lengthen your career?
Yeah, no, I actually do think that. I think sometimes when you kind of bounce around a little bit, you have to be able to adapt. Like you have to be able to learn, pick up a playbook fast, and then really you just kind of get to a point where you just kind of have all these concepts in your head defensively, schematically, and you can kind of just figure it out as you go. Like, okay, it's the same thing as this, it's just a different name. So I would say one thing I learned was one, being able to be adaptable, and whatever situation you go into, you can thrive. Two, definitely, kind of create a relationship with the coaches. It's good to have those bonds and those relationships because football is family. People literally move around team to team with their family, with their people, and staying healthy. My rookie year, I pulled my hamstring. Like I pulled it in the combine, pulled it week actually in training camp, first preseason game against Buffalo, my rookie year. Then pulled it again week 4, and so they told me they was about to cut my behind, but they believed in me, and then they just wanted me to be a better pro. So really, since that day, I have not missed a game due to injury since my rookie year. And so I would say those are about the 3 biggest things that have really kept me around. And I mean, being reliable and doing your job when you have the opportunity. Really, that's about it.
I always tell kids all the time, the best ability is availability.
Amen.
So like if you ain't there, you can't make the was my boy Michael Ross, another Duval guy, coached with him. He played for the Jaguars for years. Mike used to say, "You can't make the club in the tub."
Nope.
That's the one thing you cannot do, man. So again, like I said, I put a logo boy up here we got people watching from all over, but Jacksonville native Andre Smith here went to Terry Parker, Trinity Christian, played at the University of North Carolina, current NFL star right now, because the fact of the matter is, regardless, you there. Like, and you're playing in Atlanta. What is it like playing in Atlanta? Have you got a chance to meet Raheem? That's the blackest the blackest city in the NFL, with the blackest coach's name in the NFL. Defensive minded guy.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him right now? Just from being around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I've seen podcasts, I've seen other things, other players post about it. He has a lot of support. A lot of people think he is the best coach in the league, and I think it does fit. You got a Raheem coaching in Atlanta. Like I'm messing with the vibe. You got a black GM, black head coach. Obviously, Arthur Blank owns the team, but yeah, we got a lot of brothers around in the area. So even though where we kind of meet at is really far from the city, it's like an hour and some change from the city. Man, it's a lot of love, and as far as being a black person, going to the games, and just seeing all these black people celebrating even after the game, seeing them all out there, all drunk, having a good time, man, it's cool to see. So playing in Atlanta is definitely a lot of fun, and I hope to be there next year.
One of the cool things about playing football in the Southeast is just how much the fan base, especially in college, they embody the team, but being in Jacksonville for like the last 17 years, I was in New Orleans, got cut, came to Jacksonville, and I've been covering the Jacks for I think over 10 years now. But it is definitely a situation where that's why people yell Duval. You rep the city. My sons are Jaguar fans, so like they just naturally. But being in Atlanta, I could definitely see that in one of those things. So I mean, you guys can turn that around and win. The one thing I learned being in Jacksonville is that people love the teams that win. They talk about those original Jaguar teams like they won a Super Bowl. But like them guys, like man, I got Big Leon Searcy, a lot of those guys could walk around anywhere in the city of Jacksonville, like gods, because they gave the city some of their most fondest memories. So as you continue to do that, it's we're gonna continue to watch, and hopefully they'll be talking about you in Atlanta, or hopefully we can get you to come down, because Jacksonville, we need some linebackers, man. So
Jacksonville did just get the Falcons DC from last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, so anything can happen. So hopefully we'll get some local guys in. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad. I'm happy that you are that you're having success. I mean, again, 7 years in the NFL. That means you're tenured. That means you got all the cool stuff. So you're gonna be taken care of. Which again, even in that's a big accomplishment. So what are some things that you would like to say to the youth of Jacksonville who are trying to achieve or hope to even have somewhat of the success that you've had in life and a career as a football player?
Yeah, I would say, my first high school, Terry Parker, was, it's a public school, and it was all right. I'm not gonna say it was like a Rams or a Rebald or like a Jackson, but it had a lot going on in it, and like it would be, fights and everything like that. And so man, the best thing I did was I kept my circle small. When I was like at a school where it wasn't like-minded individuals. When I went to Trinity, I was kind of more social, more open, because I was around players that literally had like D1 offers and were going to college and wanted to go to the NFL and do these things. Where my first school, it was a little different. So I only hung out with like 2 people. So I would say, like, be careful about who you hang around, who you associate with. If their goals and dreams don't align with yours, and they out here running these streets doing whatever, you need to remove yourself from the situation and really just locked in. I mean, and I was someone as a kid, like, I 1000% believed I would be in the position that I am in today, back when I was 14, 13 years old. And I didn't want anything to deter me from that situation. Not a woman and babies, not gangs and drugs and violence, not school and failing. And so I would say, man, you have a lot of lessons that you can learn from other people, whether it's family, whether it's friends or whatever, that made a mistake and they're not in the place that they want to be. And so, man, I would just say, just try and stay on the right track, stay focused on what your goal is and for your career.
You know, was it? Can you read that, Moline? Somebody said, "Tell him Moline said was
Ooh,
good."
Davidson? Where you at, Davidson Moline?
Somebody said Zopatek is watching this live, so I guess they said.
Oh, yeah.
So
what up, Moline? What's going on? Yeah, I play with Moline and Terry Parker.
okay,
Yeah,
that's what's up. So again, man, appreciate you, man. I know you got a lot of other stuff going on, man. Enjoy it. You stay out of trouble as well, as we encouraging the youth to stay out of trouble. I'm only saying that because, like, it is still Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Don't drive, get an Uber. Apparently, athletes and driving in Vegas does not combine, because we just seen J-Rob. I don't know what the hell J-Rob thinking right now. Shout out to my Noel, but dude, just Uber. Lyft. Like, you got it.
Yeah.
You and I just thought about it. Plus your dadgum NFLPA card, like, dude, they'll take you wherever you need to go, man. There's no need, but whatever. I digress. I've been young and dumb before as well. Are you gonna do any camps this summer back in Duval, or?
Man, I want to. I've been trying to for like the last 2 years actually get together, but I've just had so much going on. Like last year, I had like this whole suspension thing I was dealing with and all that. So I do want to do one. And my mom was like, "Oh, you should do it at Terry Parker. That's your original place." I'm like, I mean, yeah, but you know, V-Man, Virgil Dorney, that's my guy. I want to have it there. So we can look forward to a camp though this off season and get into it.
All right, man. Well, definitely let me know, man. Would love to cover it.
Absolutely.
Send some kids your way. Trey, you see, again, Daddy has actually trained an NFL player before. You just don't. Again, I'm getting older now. I've been out in the game for a little bit, so some of them aren't as good. But again, this is a good one. Great example. Again, appreciate again, 7 years is dope, man. I'm extremely proud of you, man. You keep it up, man. So, all right, guys, hopefully we'll get him with the Jaguars, but right now he's got a job, so I'm not going to push it too much because we don't want him to lose that job. So, again, Duval. All right, Big Game James _36, Den Media Group, Super Bowl week, Radio Row. Different interviews. Tomorrow will be our last day on Radio Row. We'll be try to get some more people. We had the BMAC interview. We got Ward done, should be uploaded. We got a few more other athletes that we can play that will be uploaded shortly. Appreciate you guys for the support. We'll see you guys next time.
I got the meatball done.
It was awesome, man.